Hey everyone, it's Sean at Looking Point, and we help IT organizations make decisions around collaboration, security, and networking. Today, I'm heading into the office because we just got a notification that we got our new Desk Pro from Cisco. Now, I got a DX80 right here behind me, but this is the new version of that unit, and so I'm super excited to get in and check it out. One of the things is we've all been working way more from home, and so the Desk Pro will certainly help that home experience be so much better. So I can't wait to crack this thing open and see, there it is, to see what this thing is all about. So this is the Desk Pro. It's still in the box. I got to get this thing unboxed so I can show you what it's all about. Let's go! All right, we're back and we are talking about the Cisco Desk Pro. Now, it's in standby mode right now, but essentially what the Desk Pro has is a touch screen. It's got an integrated camera, a speaker array, and a microphone array at the bottom of the screen. You can extend your desktop using the USBC connector, or you can leverage an HDMI connection to display your laptop's content on the screen. Now, for this purpose in the demo, I've got a USB-C connector which extends the desktop, it extends the camera, and the speaker and microphone. So if I join maybe a third-party conference, I could leverage my PC to use these integrated features, the mic array, the speakers, and the camera, to give me an enhanced experience when I'm joining those additional calls. If I'm joining a native Webex call, I can use the unit itself, and it acts as a video endpoint just like you would in a traditional room. The perfect location for this would be a small huddle room, or to have at home. It could replace your monitor, your USB camera, your desktop phone, your speakers, and your mic, all in one unit. So it makes it simple, easy to deploy, easy to use, and very user-friendly. So it's in standby mode. If I touch the screen, it's gonna come awake, but it's sharing my desktop right now. And so it does have an integrated touch screen. So if your laptop supports it, you can essentially leverage, there's a little button here that you select, and it's gonna pass my multi-touch through the screen, just like I was touching my traditional desktop. So it's kind of nice. If I wanted to click on a link, I could do that. I could scroll through just like I could in a traditional touch screen. If I want to disable that feature, I can tap over here, it'll pop this out, and I can click the finger button and it won't do that. It'll bring up the controls of the phone. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen so we can just focus on the actual unit itself. So along the bottom, we've got call, whiteboarding capabilities. We can share the screen, which you've already seen. We can join a WebEx, or I could check my voicemail. On the top left-hand corner of the display, I have some settings. I have my Do Not Disturb. I've got the brightness control for the screen. I can turn on automatic brightness if I want it to adjust to the ambient light in the room. I've got forwarding my calls to a specific extension or my cell phone. I could forward calls to voicemail. I could go to the settings, and I could put the unit in standby. So those are the settings. Now let's demonstrate a call. What I'm going to do, since I'm in the office by myself, I'm going to go ahead and call a conference room. I'm going to run out there, go answer the call, and come back so you can see what it's like. So I'm going to place the call. I've already got the unit here. I'm selecting in my history. I'll just go through this before I make the call. We've got favorites. If I had favorites, they'd be stored here. Recent calls of all the calls I've made, and the phone directory of our internal Active Directory. So I'm going to go to Recents and click on this room and click Call. Be right back. All right, so we're in a point-to-point conference call with another video endpoint. Now, right now, you cannot see your SelfView. So a lot of times when you're on a call, you want to know, am I in the frame? Am I not? You also have some features on the Desk Pro where I can blur my background. I could set up my own backgrounds if I wanted to. So you have a lot of features and functionality native to the unit. So if I click up here into the SelfView, there is a little button that shows a picture of myself. I'm going to click that, and it's going to show right here the what we see on the other end. This camera is displaying what it sees. Now there are a number of options here. So if I just click on myself, which would be me talking in the room, I click on this image and it gives me a bunch of options here at the bottom. So the first one I'm going to hit is blur the background. And I don't know if you can tell, but essentially it's blurring all of the things in the room opposite to the unit. I have some integrated pictures that already show things, like I've got this nice background of some trees and a couch, so it looks like I'm just having the best background life in the world, and it would just be a presenter there or you sharing content. We've got the beach here, and you can see if my hand's in there, it starts to show my hand as the background, and I don't know how well you can see that here in this little screen, but these are the background options that you have integrated into the unit. So the no sign is basically no background, the little dot is a blur, and then we've got some pre-canned pictures for nice little backdrops on the Desk Pro. So that's a video call. Now, if I was using this and I wanted to share my screen, I could do two things. I could share my screen, so that's just by, again, tapping the share screen. I could click share and call. The far end participants would see my screen, or if I just wanted to do some work while I was on the call or see my screen while I was on the call, I could hit local preview. Local preview will pull up my desktop, but then also show my SelfView and the other participants in the window here. Now, an interesting feature is as you move this around on the screen, there is essentially a beam-forming array that puts the audio in the location where the speaker is at. So if I move them to this side and the far end participant is speaking, the audio will come from this side of the display. And if I move them over here, it'll come from the left side of the display. And if I move it up to the top in the center, it'll come out the center display. And that gives you more of an immersive feel. So when you're talking to someone and you hear them talking, it just gives you that sense that they're over on this corner, that corner, or the center. And it just brings you that much closer to a real in-person experience. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the SelfView here. I'm just going to tap that. It's going to go away. All right, so let's go through some of the layouts. So if I click the second button, it's the button in the middle, I can see all the layouts. I've got an equal display where it'll take the video and the content and share them equally on the screen. I've got it in overlay mode right now. There's a model mode, which will shrink the screen and put the video participants up around the screen instead of overlaying them on top of the screen. And then there is a single, which essentially hides the video participants and only shows your display. So if you wanted to just focus on the content, maybe you're presenting some content and you're not really worried about seeing the others on the other end, it could be distracting. You just want to focus on the content, you could go into that mode as you're presenting content to someone. So those are the display layouts. Let's go ahead and hang up on this call. But before we do, if I wanted to whiteboard in a video call, I could pull up the whiteboard and new whiteboard, and then I could start drawing, and the far end participant will see this drawing in their video display. So that's a nice feature when you're collaborating. So let's stop sharing here and go back to this. And so I've also got a keypad down at the bottom. If I wanted to add a call, I could do that. If I wanted to place them on hold, I could do that. If I wanted to forward the call, I've got that option as well. So, and then the X is the hang up button for this audio call. So if I just hang up on that, essentially the call is going to go away, and I'm just going to be using this as a desktop now. So now that we've completed a call, let's talk a little bit about the USBC integration and how it becomes your speakers, your microphone, and your USB camera. So if you've ever had the situation where you're using your laptop and it's closed, and maybe you've got a docking station and it's connected to a screen, and you join any video conference, and you're gonna try to use video. Well, your screen is closed, and typically that video camera is integrated into the laptop. So unless you have a USB camera, you need to reopen your laptop screen. Your primary monitor now gets reoriented, because I've got my laptop opened here as well, and it's kind of reorienting the screen, so the resolution changes. It's kind of annoying, and you just don't like doing it. And so a lot of times I don't go on video if I have my laptop closed and I don't have a USB camera over my screen. So this alleviates that because now I can access the mic, and the mic array in here is amazing. It minimizes any background noise. It does some noise canceling. It limits keyboard clicking if somebody's a loud typer. So it does a lot of great features just automatically that'll make that experience that much better. And the integrated camera is just of the highest quality. So when you get all of those things mixed together, whether you're doing a WebEx meeting natively in the unit or if you're using third-party video conferencing, it just makes that experience that much better and that much more engaging. So that is it for the Webex Desk Pro. It essentially is a video endpoint. It's a monitor, it's a mic, it's got some great speakers in it, and it all connects through a single cable into your machine that delivers that all to you with a USB-C connection. So I think it's an amazing solution for, and it's got some great enhancements to the original DX units, which are all great, but it's got some nicer features and capabilities, which makes this more of a monitor feel and less of a video unit. And so I think with the way it sits, the way the speakers are, the way the mics are, it just seems more engaging to use as a monitor and as an integrated approach to your phone, your video unit, your monitor, USB camera, speakers, and microphone. It just seems to work a little bit better than what I would say the traditional DX. All right, and the last feature is there at the top of the screen, we've got this little camera lid close deal. It's a little switch at the top, which will turn off and on the video. So you don't have to worry about putting a piece of tape or a piece of paper over the top. You can just use this little integrated switch. It's not an on-off switch. It actually slides a panel over the video. So you don't have to worry about it being a digital type switch. It is just a physical panel. It's also got a digital element that says, hey, the camera's off. But outside of that, there's no way that the sensor could actually see anything because there's actually a shutter that closes in front of it. So that's it on the Desk Pro. I really like it. I think it has a form factor that seems more monitor-esque than the DX units did. I love the speaker array. I love the mic. I love how you can extend your camera, your microphone, and your speakers all through one cable. If you've got a docking station, even better. It just makes that experience of when I come in with my laptop, I plug it in, it's my monitor, it's my video unit, it's my phone, it's all of those things packed in one nice clean form factor, and it really is a commercial grade display. I just can't say enough about it. It's a cool piece of hardware. All right, so we covered a lot. We covered the video unit, making a call, how it works and integrates with your PC, how some of the features on the unit itself. I've really enjoyed messing around with this thing. I think I'm gonna like having this on my home desktop moving forward. It's gonna be a monitor replacement for me. So I'm really excited to see how this works out as I use it more and more from home. So the things that we didn't cover, which we've gotten some good shots on, is the back of the unit. So the back of the unit has multiple HDMI connections. It's got multiple USB connections. It's got a physical Ethernet connection. It's also a wireless unit, so whether wired or wireless, it will work for you. You've got an Ethernet switch in the back, so if you wanted to daisy chain your Ethernet connection from the unit to your PC, you can do that as well. So it really is well thought out piece of gear. If I said anything in this video that you're like, hey, I'd love to know more about that, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like and subscribe so you get all of our content as we release it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.